Plus old man Phil here. After spending the whole week on this 4103 that you saw videos of from last fall, we're going to take it on a trip down to Rochester, Minnesota. This engine hasn't been worked since it was overhauled and it badly needs it. So I spent a week on electrical stuff and on odds and ends getting the engine ready to run and the tires inflated properly and the interior cleaned and all the seats put back. So Stan and Glenn are going to take the bus and I'm going to follow them with my truck. I'm not anticipating breakdowns, but I want to take some road shots. So that'll do it for now, and the next thing you see will be us on the road. Phil, plus old man Phil, we're in Hayfield, Minnesota, and there's one more Holter on Earth that you haven't met yet, and this is Dan Holter, Stan's brother, and Dan Holter operates Rochester City Lines, a mega charter bus operation in Rochester, Minnesota. And so we're here today to look at some more of the fabulous Bus Boys collection. And I would like you to describe this nice looking piece, if you would, Dan.
Well, it's a 5108.
Speak loud.
And Stan could probably tell a little bit more about it. I think it came out a year.
About 48.
I don't remember what year it is now. We
It'll be a 55.
yeah, 55, 56. Anyway, picked it up out of Knoxville, Tennessee, from a small private operator, and we had it hauled home. Yeah, with the intention to restore it, but I've not gotten to that point yet. So the bus is complete, seats inside, the luggage racks, everything is there. The bus is in pretty solid condition. It just needs cosmetic redo. We're just in the process of moving some buses from this facility to our other facility in Rochester. Dan, as most of people know, is president of the Bus Boys. We are the Bus Boys collection. So we just stopped in here today. We're out doing a test run with a 4103 and stopped in to see what's going on.
Anyway, so Dan, you've already described this bus thoroughly. This is what, a 5108?
Right.
Well, let's see the back end. Let's see what makes this critter run. I'll bet, folks, I'll bet this is a good old 671. Would you have a look at that, people?
Who knew?
There you are, a complete, intact 671. Look at this, folks. A DC generator. He hasn't torn it out and put in a fancy belt-driven alternator. And he hasn't stuck a tachometer drive on the end of it. What do you know? The bus is original. Look at that, folks. I bet you'd like to have one of them. Okay, guys, be nice to your wife, and she'll let you buy one of these. Okay, let's see what it looks like inside. Follow me. Come on, Dan, describe your bus.
Well, this one has the extra silver sides on it. Not all the 5108s have this, so this is an option. Similar to what you see on the it's called the silver side bus. It's a transit style, it's a Suburban. And
Are you able to see that, Glenn?
Pretty dark, but we'll try.
An extra set of seats inside.
Uh-huh. And you notice, folks, this has coach seats instead of transit seats. And it's a stick shift, which is perfectly fine for highway driving.
I think the front has some real character too. Check out those turn signal lenses.
Isn't that something? Look at the turn signals, people. The big fancy arrow turn signals, like the arrow coaches and the flexible.
A little better angle right here.
Okay, speak up, Dan.
Yeah. The tilt-in windshields, as all the transits had in that era. It was to keep the glare off of the driver's eyes. And this one happens to have fog lights on it too.
Now, we gotta know that any bus, after a transit company owns it, has to be mail marked. And this would be a typical mail mark after fog lights. And you notice how securely mounted they are?
Well, they're almost as old as you, Phil.
Yes,
so be careful.
Oh, are they? Okay. Well, the reason for this is when you're out on country roads, you want to be able to see everything around you. So when this light bounces around like this, at one time or another, you're going to see everything that's in front of you, even if it's only for a flash of a second. And the next thing is the front vent for the heater and defroster system. And the third thing, look at those Michigan markers. Oh, don't you wish you had something that looked like that on your bus? Well, Dan, it's quite a... And it runs and drives, I presume.
I presume.
I don't know of a 671 you can't get running with a little bit of diesel fuel and a good battery.
Just need fuel and air.
Yeah. You need a can of diesel fuel and a gallon of ether. You want to take a peek at talk about this transit bus? Now, this bus has a lot of history. This was the Rochester City line.
Yeah, before that it was a Denver tramway bus.
And this bus was part of your fleet when you were doing the city transit service in Rochester, right?
That's right.
You have to speak up because the thing adjusts for my loud voice. Pretend you're talking to one of your kids that's getting on your nerves. Okay, what else, Dan?
Well, we got a 510. Let's see. What is this? The 510. Let's see.
Would be a 47.
No. The 1959. 5301.
It's a new look.
Oh, 5301. Okay. This would be the first of the new looks.
That's
then.
right.
So what year is this? 59.
1959, the year they
59.
came out with them.
This is, folks, this is one of the first new looks. Can you go stand back up a little? So
Originally out of Santa Monica, California. It was 10 years old when we bought it.
Wow. And this ran in your transit service in Rochester also, right?
That's right.
Notice, folks, the nice marker lights. Then later they installed the puny little tin markers that you see on buses now. Cost saving.
Yeah, they lost some elegance for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks, Dan.
So this 5301 is powered by a V671 Detroit diesel with the VH Allison automatic transmission. This hood hasn't been opened for a number of years. And the muffler, it's right here on the, as it is on all the early models. The later models had the muffler up under the floor, actually ahead of the bulkhead.
Oh, I didn't know mufflers were there. Wow.
Same as the 4106 parlor coach.
Oh. Okay.
They had a unique sound.
Ah. I've always liked the sound of the GM V6 and V8 71s. That's my favorite diesel sound.
This has a different sound yet.
Oh, really? Okay. And this has an alternator. They went to the alternators.
Right.
And a red transmission case. That indicates that this is a 100-mile-an-hour bus. Is that right, Dan? Is that why the red on the torque?
Well, you can
converter?
cut that in half.
Oh, okay. Well, 50 ain't bad for a city transit.
It would be speeding on most routes.
Okay. Now, maybe you might want to explain that huge fan shroud. What would go in there that would change the way that setup is? Air conditioning would move the fan closer to the radiator and a smaller shroud?
A V8 would.
Yeah, right. The V8.
Oh, V8.
would-
A V8, okay.
Yeah, because the air conditioning was mounted on the roof with its own condenser motor.
Okay. All right. As we were preparing to leave Hayfield, Minnesota, with our 4103 trip back to Minneapolis, Dan had decided he wanted to bring the MC7 he had purchased in California, which was in storage in Hayfield, back to Rochester. So I happened to catch him leaving the gas station near Hayfield and thought you might like to see a glimpse of the MC7 that he's taking back to Rochester. He's going to clean it up, service it up. I don't know if he's going to have it for sale or restoration. I didn't catch him in time to see what his plans were. So we'll see. We'll see what he's up to. Thanks for watching all this stuff, and I appreciate your welcoming me back, and I thank you for all your good tidings. And please comment, and remember, I'm with you in spirit, even if I don't acknowledge all of your nice comments. And by the way, I do appreciate, and so do the other readers, appreciate your anecdotal stories, your stories about your trips with your mom on the buses and streetcars. So keep them coming, and any questions, leave them here where we can all see them, and I'll answer every one way or the other. I'll get you the right answer. Thanks for being here with me. Bye now.
Got a little fuel in the coach to make it back into Rochester. I jumped in the 4103 and followed him for a ways back into town, and we got a short piece of video that you can see taken from inside the 4103 following the old MC7.
Well, we had a great day out there, didn't we? and now it's time to come home and feed the dogs. So long, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Yung pag